The difference is you see this as champagne, I see this as water.
Old money are alcoholics.
There's a reason why rich people are rich and poor people are poor.
Why?
Poor people are bad with money. I can't wait to have a daughter. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of her.
How old money are you?
10 generations around.
Did you just randomly pick a number?
Your parents made it in your eyes, but I don't think they've made it in my eyes. Kind of a peasant family.
Do you even own anything?
Private islands. If you have no money, you don't really deserve to have your money.
Do you think it's appropriate for women to give gifts to men?
I'm saying your watch is ugly.
Oh.
Everyone thinks on the outside, like I'm an asshole, but on the inside, very kind. What's up, guys?
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Louis, also known as the rich kid, the European rich kid on social media.
And I'm Albina.
Albina what?
Albina Alieva.
Say it with some confidence.
I am confident. I just don't need to scream in order to be confident.
I need to scream to be confident?
Looks like it.
You're the one who's wearing a little... Can I see that watch?
Yes.
You think I'm the one who's screaming? Look at what you're wearing. Look at that watch.
What about it?
It's pitiful. It's like the most new money thing I've ever seen.
I am new money.
I'm saying your watch is ugly.
So why are you screaming?
Look at my watch. This watch is more suited for you with the blue.
You can give it to me.
I will. I feel bad for you. You should take off that watch.
Thank you.
Now take off the watch. Take off the watch. You don't wear that watch.
All right.
I need to teach you some manners.
So is this my gift?
That's your gift.
Okay, but I get to keep my watch as well.
No, this watch is don't have a bed. Like honestly, it's in the trash.
But I'm new money, so I really need 2 watches.
I'm someone who knows about money, okay? And I'm telling you, your watch is disgusting. There's no culture behind that watch. Can someone please tell her the watch is disgusting? Take off the watch.
Does it work?
Of course it works. She doesn't even know how to put a Rolex on. Let me see this watch. I want to put it on the watch. Take off the watch. Take off the watch. Oh my God. Just for the reference, so people know, this is what we're looking at right now. Okay, a beautiful woman like you should not be wearing a watch like this.
Well, you can give me another watch. I'm fine with that.
This is for like an Indian billionaire. Are you an Indian billionaire?
I would love to
Did
be
you just
one.
make a bunch of money from crypto?
No, but
then
I tried
you
to
don't
look.
wear this watch, Albina.
Well, thank you for the new one.
You're welcome. Anyways, let's get into it.
How much money did you spend last month?
Last month? Probably too much, to be honest. I have a tendency of overspending a lot. But nothing crazy, like probably like 15K.
I spent more.
You spent more?
Yeah.
How much you spend?
But it's also because I'm starting my own business. I spent 40.
40? Nice. Nice.
I actually don't think it's nice. When I check my bank account, I get anxious.
Yeah, but you gotta spend money to it's like an investment, you know?
Oh,
You gotta spend money to make money.
you're talking like my dad.
That's the truth, you
I
know?
agree.
Like if you're gonna, and that's why everyone tells me like, oh, you don't need to rent a jet when you're doing a business deal. The point is you gotta spend money on being comfortable and like being relaxed so you get your destination and you're ready to like get a business deal, you know?
Are you only comfortable in a private jet?
Yes, I don't fly commercial.
Why?
Why? What do you mean why? Because I don't like sitting with a bunch of peasants.
Peasants.
Yes.
What makes them peasants and you're not one of them?
They're not culture. They don't know anything about the affluent life that everyone sits and they're like sheep. You know, it's like they get pushed around like a herd of sheep, you know? I'm not a farmer, so I'm not a peasant. Do you agree or no?
I don't agree with labeling people like that.
I'm not labeling people. I'm saying that most people that fly commercial are oblivious to, I mean, look, the problem with me is like, I grew up with a certain level of wealth, okay?
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I'm a bit spoiled because I'm used to something else.
But that was just pure luck that you were born into this family,
No, it's not pure luck.
So it's not luck to be born into a rich family?
Like there's a certain degree of luck, yeah, but like also it's not like just because you're born in a rich family, you get to stay lucky. You have to prove yourself.
And how do you prove yourself?
All the most elite family businesses in Europe, there's all ways that you have to prove yourself to stay in the family.
Okay.
Just because you've been born in the family, yes, you're privileged, but there's a lot of tests to see whether you're worthy of staying in the family.
Did you pass the test?
I passed most of the tests.
What were the tests like?
Well, every year, okay, they assemble the whole family, and you know, like you can basically tell who's gonna take over most of the wealth and who's not. It's like a succession. It's like that.
Oh, so your life is like Succession.
I mean, very similar. Succession's overdone, but the truth is that, like, you know, look at like in the text, look at the richest family in the Netherlands. Like one of my friends, they all have hundreds of people in their families. Every kid is a spoiled kid, but some of them get kicked out of the family. So, I mean, I'll talk to you about it later.
Sounds like a tragedy to be kicked out of a family like that.
Yeah, there's no like, these people
So
are
if you were to
merciless.
be kicked out of a family like that, would it make you a peasant?
I mean, yeah,
Oh no. So what if it happens? What's your backup plan?
make my own money.
That sounds peasant-like, to make your own money, based on your logic.
I thought you didn't like the word peasant. Now you're calling me a peasant?
No, I'm not calling you a peasant. I'm saying if you were in a situation like this, based on your logic, it would make you one.
Yeah, but I'm smart, Albina. I'm smart, okay? I can figure out things for myself.
That's good.
Some people, they're just incompetent, you know, they get kicked out of the family and they just get pulled into like the worst kind of habits and
Like economy class.
economy, and you know, like just they don't travel. I don't know. I've seen people like from very rich families who completely lose their respect from their families and they go live in Indonesia and in Bali and no one hears about them.
Okay.
That's sad to me.
To live in Bali?
I mean, to live in an underdeveloped country just because it's cheap and that's the only thing you can afford.
So how do you measure what country is undeveloped?
I studied economics, so like that's kind of a stupid question.
Explain to me since I'm stupid.
Well, I mean, if you ask me how do you assess like a rich country, how do you assess? You okay there, buddy? Where'd you get this from? The zoo? Do you have any Dom Perignon, sir?
I'm afraid not.
Okay. Putain, bro. Maybe get a guy who knows how to serve the champagne. You're making a mess.
You can do it yourself.
Just put it down. You've done enough.
Hold it.
What is that? What, you want a tip or what? I feel like I'm in a dream or something. Like, this is like part of a dream.
Yeah, it's a crazy dream. Oh, you spilled it a little bit.
Anyways, all right, next question.
What do you want to buy that you can't afford?
What kind of question is that? I can afford everything. I guess the only thing that's kind of hard to get right now is private islands, because there's like a limited amount and they're already owned by a lot of like super rich people that it's hard to buy an island off them. But private islands, I love private islands. Like a private island in Greece. There's this beautiful one like next to Paros that we want to buy, but it's owned by a Greek ship owner family, and they've owned it for so many years that they don't want to sell it to anyone.
When you say we, who's we?
My family.
If they were to buy it, would you own a part of it, or how does it work?
What do you mean?
When they buy something, is it under their name or under your name?
It's under our name.
Family's
It's
name?
my family.
But how does it get splitted?
Don't really consider splitting it. It's just like it's an asset that belongs to our family. I'm part of the family, so it's also my asset.
But if somebody gets kicked out from a family, as you said,
Then
what
it's
happens?
not their asset. As soon as you get kicked out of the family, like you don't get any money, you don't get any inheritance, like you get no respect, you lose your family
But
name.
it sounds like right now you're a part of the family, but things are still not under your name. It's under family's name. So do you even own anything?
Of course I own things. Albina, don't, like, what kind of question is that?
Like, okay, so what is under your name?
Why should I tell you? That's private. Think any rich person is going to disclose what they own?
Well, you're disclosing a lot of things, so I thought you would be
I
transparent.
don't disclose. I'm just honest. Like, I'm transparent because why not? Like,
I appreciate your transparency.
I don't need to prove myself. Like, it's just that, like, I'm transparent. I'm honest, you know? Like, I'm gonna speak. When someone tells me they're richer than me, I'll be like, you're really not, bro. Like, you're not.
So you never met anybody richer than you are?
I mean, I definitely have.
How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel small?
No, because the thing is, even when I meet someone that's richer than me, okay, and yes, there are people that are richer than me, and honestly, the only people that are richer than me are usually the people in Asia, you know, like Indian billionaires, like some Indonesian billionaires, stuff like that. They're rich, they might be richer, but it's only because they have more access. You can be very rich in Europe, but if you're rich in Indonesia, you have access to the whole country. So you have a lot more power. Mm-hmm. So of course you're gonna be richer than me. But the thing that they don't have is culture. They're new money rich. It's disgusting.
What do you
because
find
it shows that
disgusting
you have
about
no
it?
culture on how you spend your money. And to me, you can have the most money in the world, but if you don't have culture associated to your family, kind of a peasant family.
If you're new money, you don't know how to spend your money, right? According
Yes.
to, okay.
If you have new money, you don't really deserve to have your money. You can have as much money as you want, but if your family is not old money, like, why should I respect anyone who's like some kind of nouveau riche billionaire?
How old money are you?
Pretty old money. Generational.
How many
10
generations?
generations around.
Did you just randomly pick a number?
I said around.
But you were telling me about the culture and the history of the family, and you don't even know how many generations are in your family?
Do you know how many generations are in your family?
Yeah, I'm the second generation. I'm new money.
Congratulations, you know that. I don't study my ancestry.
So it sounds like you don't do what you preach, culture.
It's around 10 generations.
That's nice.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. There's been like a lot of screaming, obnoxious French kids in my family. I don't even think I'm that obnoxious, to be honest. I really don't.
Yeah, you're totally not.
My dad was probably more obnoxious than me as a kid.
How?
I mean, like, he would tell me these crazy stories about like parties and stuff that he did. I'm like, it doesn't even compare to the level that I barely go out. I barely spend money.
Is it because your dad was richer than you are?
No, it's not because my dad was richer than me. It's just because in the olden times, you could do crazier things. Like now, there's caps to things you can do. There's caps to how obnoxious you can be.
What is something you would love to do, but there is a limit?
So in the olden days, like, there's all these super rich people, and they can do whatever they want because they pretty much are above the law.
Like slavery?
I'm not gonna answer that question. My point is, like, for instance, like owning these huge chateaus, right? Like all these chateaus you go and see in France, that used to be like a normal house. Nowadays, you have to constantly be mindful of how the media portrays anything that you're purchasing. Like a $50 million penthouse in New York. People are gonna find out about it and they're gonna be like, oh, this person bought that house.
And what?
And then they
people don't
judge you.
care if you're pretty transparent. If you're a politician and your kids have buildings or houses like this, then it's definitely a problem. But if you're a self-made billionaire or you made money and now your kids are purchasing this, I don't think people have a problem with that.
It's the same thing, whether you're a politician or if you're a
No, it's not the same
self-made
thing.
billionaire.
Because politicians should not have this amount of money in the first place.
Next question, please. Go ahead.
Would you date somebody poorer than you?
Probably not, because I just don't think I can stand being with a girl who just doesn't understand my lifestyle and has the mannerisms that I've been accustomed to growing up. So, yeah, probably not.
I wouldn't either.
Would you date somebody richer than you?
If I love them, yes, but very hard to come to terms with that. Very hard to come to terms with someone. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's also very hard for me to find someone. Like, that's very unlikely.
I would date somebody richer because I'm still from a traditional family where I think that a guy should bring more to the table than a girl.
I agree with that also. I mean, you want to date someone you respect, right? Probably not going to respect someone who's more poor than you.
No, I do respect that.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
most
about...
likely there's no respect that will be earned.
So respect is earned through money, in your opinion?
Oh, it's through your ambitions, you know? How ambitious are you?
What if I'm extremely ambitious, but I don't have money? Would you respect me?
No.
So then it's not about ambition.
Because if your ambition doesn't, you see, because then you'd be like, okay, my family has all ambition, but we've never been rich. Clearly your ambition doesn't live up to its expectations.
What's the best advice to get as rich as you are?
Marry rich. Everyone asks me this, and like, the chances of anyone in this room becoming as rich as me is not, it doesn't happen. The only way, the best way to do it is marry rich. Just marry rich. You won't be able to get as rich. The society does not let you get as rich as some of these people that I know. I'm not saying I'm the richest person in the world. I'm saying the people that I've hanged out with, my friends, who are the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
No one will get as rich as them.
How to find a rich person to marry?
You can go to these spots and try to find them, but at the end of the day, everyone knows who is who. You can't just marry some super rich person. Maybe you become super lucky because that person's an idiot and they marry you, but everyone knows at the end of the day who's marrying into whose family.
So what you're saying is that there are no chances to get rich if you're not already rich?
Yes, I'm saying it's futile for you to even try because you're never going to be as rich as anyone.
Well, my parents made it.
Yeah, but to a certain extent. Then it's just talking about the sheer wealth that we're talking about here.
Shared wealth?
The sheer wealth of what you're talking about. Your parents made it in your eyes, but I don't think they've made it in my eyes.
What is an
No
example
offense.
of somebody making it for you?
You know, it's in the billions. That's usually when someone's clearly made it, but it's hard to quantify with inflation and everything.
Okay.
Yes, rich people even think about inflation.
Should rich people pay higher taxes?
Held that one before. No, I don't think that rich people should be paying high taxes. There's a reason why rich people are rich and poor people are poor.
Why?
Poor people are bad with money. They don't make good financial decisions. So just because someone rich doesn't mean they have accumulated their wealth in an unethical way. It's because they were smart. Why should they be paying some of what they've made to, you know, a part of society that's not good with spending money?
I think rich people should pay higher taxes.
I think it depends on who it is.
What do you mean?
I think the people who are rich, who've accumulated wealth in unethical ways, deserve to pay more tax. But certain rich people, you know, like, don't see why they should be paying taxes. The people who are respected rich, you know, why should they pay?
What makes somebody respected rich? Old money yet
It's
again?
the type of, no, it's not old money. It's the type of line of business you've been in. You know, if you're a conglomerate who owns a bunch of supermarkets around the world, like, you're doing good for society.
So there is this group in America, it's called patriotic millionaires, and they're actually rich people who vote for paying more, and they want to pay more. And one of the ways how they want to do it is by closing tax loopholes.
Being a millionaire does not mean you're rich. The average American is a millionaire.
Who do you think average American is not a millionaire, but who do you think is rich? How do you define if somebody is rich? How much money should you have in order to be considered rich in your eyes?
For me, it's like above 100 million net worth. And it's very hard to tell, because you can be a net worth of 100 million, but you might have assets that go up to $1 billion. So for me, it's like the best way to know if I'm gonna speak to someone is to know where they're from, to see if I have mutuals with them. The moment I have a mutual with someone, I know this person comes from a good family. For me, it's that. You know, if there's some kind of alignment of like, do you ski in St. Moritz? Where do you go in the summers? Do you know this person? And then I can tell. Can't ask, like, everyone has different amount of assets. This guy's come back to like troll me or what?
Hi.
Bro, go eat some grass. Like, what is this guy doing? It's like creepy, to be honest.
The most luxurious experience you've ever had?
So I don't think for me it was an actual experience of something. It was more of when I felt the coolest, I would say. So when I was growing up, I started to understand that my parents have business and what type of business it is. And as I was driving to school, I was understanding that this is my dad's supermarket, this is his mall, those are his gas stations. And as I'm driving through the city, it just made me feel very luxurious. It's about understanding that your family kind of made it.
Yeah, I love seeing like, you know, family landmarks also. When I'm like traveling anywhere, I always go see the trade that's going on between my family and the involvement in any country that I'm in.
So are you a part of your family business now?
Partially. I do a lot of things. I'm very busy.
Do you get like a salary from them, or how does it work? Or you just get some percent of your trust funds the more you do?
Can't really disclose that, to be honest. But yeah, I get a salary from them. Does it cover most of my allowance? No. But I make something.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
What's your first money memory?
I was 6 and we went skiing with my parents and I asked them for hot chocolate. So my parents gave me money and I went to buy it. And then I came back with hot chocolate and they were like, do you want to keep the change or do you want to give it to us? And I was like, I didn't take the change because I didn't understand the difference between euros and hryvnias. I thought 100 euros and 100 hryvnias is the same. So for a $3 hot chocolate, I left a tip of €97. And then I understood that that was a rookie mistake. And after that, I started thinking about money. But that's my first memory of it.
Poor child.
I know.
Didn't even understand the currency exchange.
But the waiter was pretty happy.
I'm sure you made the day.
Yeah. I think about him sometimes.
Sounds like a very giving person.
Yeah, by accident though.
Interesting. I think my most fond memories of being rich, just having all the attention from my maids, you know? Like I remember vividly all my Filipino and like all the different maids that I was constantly around me and how pampering they were. So for me, that was my first like time I realized the wealth.
Do you have friends who are not rich kids?
No. It's like asking an old person if he has friends who are young kids. Like, no. Why? For me, it's like, look, my friends that I have, it's because it's the same thing with dating a rich girl, right? Like, there comes a point, you know, where you're going for dinner, you're going traveling, and it's like all this new stuff that they're not used to doing, and it's like you have to teach them. Like, you have to. If you're rich, you know, like, you know the culture. There's a certain culture. It's like speaking a language.
So we had a lot of, like, I still have a lot of friends, and our friend group back in Ukraine, we had friends from different financial backgrounds, and you're talking about traveling. So if our friends wouldn't have a financial opportunity to go somewhere, we would just cover their expenses.
You see, that's kind of sad. Why should you? Why should you do that?
We shouldn't.
What is that, kind of charity? Like, do you feel good about yourself when you do that?
No.
I did the same thing. I used to do the same thing. I used to fly out a girl and pay for everything. I'm just like, and then I realized, like, why should I do that? I'm never going to be with this person. My family would never allow me to be with a person from not the same class as, you know? So it's like, it's just a waste of time.
But flying out a girl and friends are two different things. I'm asking you about friends.
Yeah, I would never pay for my friend to come somewhere. I mean, I would invite them on a jet, but that's just pure courtesy. It's not, I would never pay for my friend. Like,
why not?
A different language. We speak, then it's like a different language.
What if you meet somebody and you really click with them? You almost become best friends, but you understand that they're from a different financial class. You wouldn't, like, for example, you're going on a birthday trip somewhere and you are inviting everybody, you wouldn't pay for his flights or for his stay? No,
what am I, like a sugar daddy or what? Like, no, why would I do that?
Because you really want this person to be present.
Actually, I don't spend my time in the first place being friends with people that are not part of my group, you know? I don't go out and start speaking to random people on the streets and, like, you know, I guess I'm close-minded, but just because I don't like wasting my time with people who don't understand who I am. You know, it's not me. It's not me. I'm not gonna start speaking to a guy and become friends with a guy who's not part of the same Class is me. It's just reality.
So when I was growing up, and because I'm new money unlike you, it was important for my parents to make sure that I'm in different groups. That's why I was always surrounded by different kids, and I think it broadened my view on many different issues. So if I get to stay wealthy in the future, I would love for my children to be exposed to different cultures and different groups of friends.
Yeah, I just could care less about like making friends who are poor, you know? The last thing I'm gonna do is have poor friends.
Okay.
Not my cup of tea, honestly.
But how do you
Besides-
know if you never were friends with them? Have you ever witnessed people from a different financial background?
Yeah, I have. It's literally like, it's just sad. You know, it's like we have nothing in common. There's nothing to speak about. There's so much miscommunication.
So when you talk, you only talk about money? Why are you saying there's nothing to talk about?
It's like we only talk about money. It's not like every rich person just talks about how wealthy they are. And we're just like going to like Cipriani's and we're like eating a certain pasta and they don't even know like the culture behind what they're eating. Like, you know, you can tell, like you can just
Do you
tell.
not go anywhere? Do you only eat out in expensive restaurants?
No, I also have a private chef. I eat at home.
So if you're just walking around with your friends, you would never just grab a bite at a random place?
Not if it's somewhere I don't know.
So you're limiting yourself with your
Yes,
money
I'm
then?
limiting myself.
What spoils children?
I don't think money spoils children. I think the lack of quality time and replacing quality time with money, that's what spoils children, because then they get into relationships in the future and the way which they're choosing to accept love is by materialistic good, in my opinion. Money doesn't spoil children, it's bad parenting.
I agree with that to a certain extent. It's easy to think money spoils someone. It's less about the money and it's just the environment that they're around that spoils them. I'm spoiled because I spend time at very privileged areas.
Do you think you're spoiled?
To a certain extent. But I also think I'm very humble. You know, it depends on the matter.
In what matters do you think you're spoiled?
It's like flying economy and flying private. I'm used to flying private because I've grown up flying private everywhere I go. So for me to fly economy is a downgrade. And if I wasn't exposed to flying private, flying economy would be fine for me.
That's true.
But it's only once you're exposed to these new things that most people are not exposed to, you build a sense of spoiledness.
That's true. I
That's
agree
the
with
thing. That's the thing. I'm used to the finer things in life. So of course I'm going to desire them all the time.
that. Your parents set a very high standard for you.
Yeah, because they love me.
I think a lot of parents love their children, they just don't have the same opportunities.
I think you show love through money.
Only?
Pampering, spoiling. When I have a daughter, she has no limit. She wants to go buy a club just to go out, I'll literally buy her a club. Especially if it's a woman. Because I don't want her for a second to think she needs to rely on anyone. I can't wait to have a daughter. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of her.
Okay, but if you're saying that money is how you would like to show love, is this how you also receive love? So how do you receive love from women? Do you think it's appropriate for women to give gifts to men?
Yeah, enjoying gifts here and there. I know it's usually from my card, but still it's the act that matters.
So that's how you prefer to receive love, through gifts?
I prefer to receive love through honesty and loyalty. You know, if I'm dating someone, it's all about loyalty. It's not about what little presents she's gonna give me.
Very kind of you.
I am a very kind person.
I noticed.
I really am. Everyone thinks on the outside, je suis un connard, like I'm an asshole. But on the inside, very big heart.
Wow.
Very kind.
Sounds like you.
What rich problems others don't understand?
I heard it so many times that if you're wealthy, you could never be upset, or you're making it up if you're depressed. I think, as you were saying, you're used to those things, right? So you're used to flying on a private jet, going to those nice hotels. So that's why for you, it's not like an excitement like it is for many people. And it doesn't make you that, it's not like you're bulletproof to depression just because you have all of those financial opportunities. And I think this is a common misconception.
For me, the thing is the pressure when you come from a certain family to prove yourself. That's for me what the hardest thing about being rich. Everyone assumes that it's an easy life, but the amount of pressure you have to really prove yourself also can be very daunting.
Do you feel pressured by your parents?
I feel pressured. Of course I feel
How
pressure.
do they pressure? Do they pressure you, or you created this pressure in your head?
I create the pressure. When I look at like history of what my generation has done in my family, of course there's pressure. There's so much pressure. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not thinking to myself, am I living up to like the best version that I can be? Like, am I proving myself?
And
That's the
how do you
hardest
prove
thing.
yourself? Like, what do you do in order to feel better about yourself?
Every parent has expectations.
What are the
set
expectations
on their
for you?
child. That I'm gonna leave a good name for my family.
What does it mean? Creating
gonna-
something new or maintaining the
You
business?
understand? Like, I'm gonna give you the example of one of my friends. He comes from the richest family in the Netherlands. Okay, they own like basically the whole country. They have a family of hundreds of people in their family. Like mine. My family is huge. Okay, and the point is that not everyone can make it in the family business. You have to prove yourself to be able to stay in the family business. Imagine if you get kicked out. Do you realize how people assume that like because you're rich that there's other expectations? There's so many expectations.
What are the examples of something which could ruin your reputation and get you kicked out of this family? Could it be dating somebody who's not on the same financial level? Would that be a reason to kick you out?
If you fall in love with a girl who's not from the respect family, and they don't get, they're not approved by your like family, like they don't condone that, you're kicked out of the family. It's less about even being kicked out. It's about the reason I act the way I am is because I ultimately want to prove to my father and to a bunch of people in my family that they should respect me. You get a lot more pressure and stress sometimes being from a rich family because you just have more responsibility.
Than people who are not rich?
Yeah, a poor person doesn't have to take over a huge family business and like operate hundreds of people.
Yeah, but they have to worry about finding food.
Yeah, okay, but it's better than having like hundreds of people or thousands of people under you that you have to control.
So you think that by being rich, your life is more difficult than anybody else's?
I think if you're from someone like my family, it's a lot harder. And everyone assumes that it's easy. It's an easy life, you fly around your private jet, you have your Lamborghini. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all.
So what is it like
It's
then?
very hard.
Because people only see how you're flying on private jets and you're shopping.
People like to see, every poor person likes to see the things that are not real about being rich. Everyone assumes everything. That's what I hate about most society, and like why I don't respect poor people, is because they assume they know what rich people lives are like.
So explain it so everybody understands.
I would explain it. Some rich people, yes, they have a very easy life. They don't have to work. They don't have to prove themselves. Their parents respect them for that. I don't. My parents forced me to work. I need to go to college. I need to get a good degree. I need to get good grades. And I need to take over a huge family business.
That's a lot of pressure.
The hard part is taking on the responsibility and not messing up around the way and not being susceptible to partying too much and doing everything. There needs to be a balance in everything that you do. That's the hardest part about being rich.
Yeah.
If you're poor, you don't have to manage thousands of people. You manage yourself. I don't expect most people to understand where I'm coming from. I don't expect people to think that I have an easy life.
What would you do if you'd get kicked out of your family?
I'd probably lose all hope in my life, to be honest. 'Cause I don't think I'd be able to cope with it.
I think you're capable of making it by yourself.
I'd probably be down for a big amount of time, and then I would strive to make my own thing, make my own name, but it's hard.
But you already have an amazing network, right? You can do so many things with the people who you already know. So I think it would be pretty easy for you. You went to college, you got good grades.
Yeah, I think I could do it. I think I could pull it off.
I believe in you. I can't even answer that question because people in my family don't get kicked out.
I guess that's what coming from new money family is like.
Yeah, lack of traditions and culture.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys aren't really cultured.
But we are learning from you guys. So maybe our...
I mean, that's what you guys try to do, but you guys still can never be like us. It's a different, completely different type of culture present.
I would say lack of culture from our side.
I'm glad that you agree with that. Culture is everything. Like I said, you can be the richest person in the world, but if you don't have culture, I don't respect you.
Explain culture to me as a new money person. What should my grandkids do in order to be cultured old money people?
Every family has different traditions.
What are
The
your
point
family
is-
traditions?
My family traditions, very oriented towards family, in the first place. Like rich people, like they're very close to their families.
So are we. And so are a lot of people
Yeah,
without
but it's a
money.
different type of closeness.
So explain, so I understand.
I guess just like the importance of, reading the same type of literature that we read. Like,
What do you read usually?
I read Tolstoy, War and Peace.
Really?
There's a lot of traveling. We travel the world. I've done a lot of traveling with my
So are
parents.
new money.
Yeah, but you guys go to you go to Dubai, you go stay at I don't know.
Weren't you in Dubai 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but I don't do the stuff that you do.
What stuff?
I don't have a matte black G-Wagon. I don't drive around wearing Gucci. The difference between old money and new money is that you guys start screaming, start taking your phones out, you start taking photos oh, this and that. You put your flash on, big Cipriani's text.
But what are the traditions?
That's new money. You're new money.
I am new money.
Yeah. You don't
I
know
never
how
said
to
I'm not.
appreciate expensive things.
How do I appreciate expensive things? Can you tell me?
Chérie, you learn with it when you're young. Because you've had it. Your parents have had it.
My parents haven't had it.
Exactly. So then when they take you out, it's guys, you gotta drink this Moet is expensive. This is water for me. You know? I don't see this and I don't think to myself champagne. I have this Moet Chandon, it's nothing expensive.
I still don't see what's the difference.
The difference is you see this as champagne, I see this as water.
So old money are alcoholics? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, Chérie, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, when you see something expensive, you want to take a photo of it. When an old money person sees it, they could care less.
I have so many old money friends who are so easily impressed, and they're the ones who are always taking out their phone in order to take videos in the clubs. How do you explain that behavior?
They're fake old money then.
Right. What if I know for sure that they're old money?
You don't know anything for sure. There's so many people who are scam artists out there.
That's very true.
Go to Miami. Most of the people that tell you they're rich, it's all BS. They live in their mom's basement. They have a rented Lamborghini, It's that kind of stuff. There's different types of wealth, and you can tell instantly. As someone who's rich, someone who comes from a culture, I can tell when someone's lying. I can tell when someone's faking it. For me, it's all about where you spend your time.
Where do you spend your time?
I spend my time in summer. I go to Mykonos, but I don't spend
That
all my time in
sounds
Mykonos.
so new money of you. Mykonos?
I know, because I have fun doing new money stuff too.
Oh, wow.
I like to have fun, but I also go to Spetses. I also go to spots that no one knows. That if someone tells me, I know it, and then I know. It's just about knowing. You can tell. The biggest thing is just the behavior, the mannerisms.
So
Mannerisms are everything.
Are you also not friends with new money?
I'm friends with some new money people because they're funny. I'm friends with you.
I don't consider us friends. You're too old money for me. You know that there is this misconception that there's stereotypical image of old money person, right? What do you think is the biggest stereotype and one thing which is not talked about at all? What would you want people to know about old money as you're exposing them?
Old money, most of the old money, they really own the world. They have assets that no one knows about. I have people from Greece that own ancient Greek artifacts that are not even in museums. No one knows about it, it's all private. They come from old money families.
So that's the difference between old money and new money, that they have older stuff?
The difference that they have assets that no one realized, like the wealth they actually own. It's not like you look up someone's net worth. They own things that are just no one knows about.
Are you happy?
Of course I'm happy. What kind of question is that? Do I look unhappy to you? I'm not unhappy. I'm very happy, thank you very much. I come from a good family. I'm privileged. I've had a great upbringing. Of course I'm happy. I'm the happiest person you ever meet.
What makes you happy? Like other certain things which you know will always make you happy, like shopping or meeting somebody?
For me, like honestly, like the time I'm the happiest is when I'm flying private. Like just because I know, I just like when I'm in the jet, you know, flying above like what most commercial jets fly, and look outside the window, and I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels. That's usually when I feel so. It's so therapeutic, and it's like, for me, that's happiness. I feel happy.
For
you know?
somebody who's old money, you put so much
Oh, I love aviation.
emphasis on this.
I love aviation.
I thought
That's
that
just
for you,
purely-
flying private is like brushing teeth.
Yeah, but I appreciate the aviation. I've loved planes for a long time. So I love the different types of private jets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Gulfstream, Embraer, everything, Legacy.
You don't have to prove us that you know them.
No, I'm not trying to prove you anything. I'm trying to prove that I know aviation, Shadi. I'm not
So you
trying
are
to
trying
prove
to
to you
prove
that I know
something.
private jets. I know private jets. I'm telling you I like planes. I like aviation. The engineering behind them. I'm also a smart person. It's not that I just know these things. I know the engineering behind it.
That's awesome. Have you ever dreamed of being a pilot?
I'm not going to be a pilot. I think we both know that I have bigger things to achieve than becoming a pilot. No offense, I love pilots. Being a pilot would be cool in an alternative universe, but that's not my universe.
Do you not consider pilots peasants?
No, I don't consider them peasants. It's not easy job.
Who would you like to see on the show next?
My girlfriend Roma, stay-at-home daughter. She's pretty funny. You should definitely have her on the show. I think she's more obnoxious than me.
Really?
Yeah,
Then it would be so exciting to have her.
yeah. I don't even think I'm obnoxious.
You're totally not.
I'm not.
You proved to everybody today that you're not.
I'm the calmest person you'll ever meet.
And the most humble, I would say.
Very humble. Very humble. At times. You know, but everything that you see, like everything that goes on social media, taken completely out of context.
Yeah.
They just like to film me like when I'm at my worst moments, when I'm blowing up, you know?
How often are you at your worst moments?
Like I don't see it at my worst moments. Like if I'm shouting at someone, it's not because I'm trying to be an asshole. It's just because I need to shout at that person to teach them a lesson.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you for teaching me the ways about old money.
It's what I do. I mean, I don't expect you to ever be a part of it, but at least
At least I'll aim for it. I'll know how to fake it better now. I'll know not to take pictures when food comes out. No pictures of anything, not a hint of me being new money. You taught me a lot today, so thank you.
you're allowed to be new money. You know why?
Why?
Because at least you're not some ugly girl who's taking a photo. If it's like some trashy looking girl, then I'm like, I have no respect for that. Do your new money ways, don't worry.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I'm glad we had fun with this.